So today data frames, joining, merging and concatenation we will do. First is joining. We can use the pandas data frame dot append method to merge two data frames. When you will be asked to merge two data frames, suppose one student data frame is there and one admission data frame is there, and you are asked to merge the two, what you will write the command data frame dot append method you will use to merge two data frames. It appends rows of the second data frame at the end of the first data frame. So first data frame will be there and then the second data frame datas will be there. Columns not present in the first data frame are added as new columns. Clear? So if any column, suppose the first data frame is having 3 columns and the second data frame is having 4 columns, then the last one, 4th column, will be added in the second one as a new column. It will be added. So columns not present in the first data frame are added as new columns. For example, consider the two data frames dframe1 and dframe2 described below. Let us use the append method to append dframe2 to dframe1. So first you will see dframe1 is given to you, pd.dataframe. In this a nested list is being used. So first row will contain 1, 2, 3. Second row will contain 4, 5, 6 and the column names will be C1, C2, C3. Index will be R1, R2, R3. Now you can see here R1, R2, R3 are the 3 rows and the first row index R1, R2, R3 are the 3 row index. First row contains the value 1, 2, 3. Okay, second row you can see only 4 and 5 is given in second row and 6 is in different list. So 6 is in third row. Now here after 4 and 5 the third value of R3 is not given. So we have already studied wherever you are not giving any value, then nan. Nan means not a number. So here you can see nan is stored in C3. Column 3 we haven't given the value in R2, so nan is stored. Same way in R3, C2 and C3 nan is stored. Clear? So this is over. Now next dframe2 we are creating two values of R4 we have given. R2 is having 1 value and R5 is having 2 values. Now here the column names are only 2, C2 and C5. So here you can see in C2 R4's value, R2's value and R5's value are there. Now you are merging the two data frame. So here data frame 1 dot append in bracket the second dframe 2 you have written. Now how it is merged, you see carefully. In first column name C1, C2, C3 was there. In second column name C2 and C5 was there. So here you can see C2 is common, C5 is added here. Now R1 was there in the first one with 1, 2, 3 value. C5 was not having any value. So wherever no value is there, you will write there nan. Same R2, 4 and 5 rest to nan. R3, 6 rest 3 nan. R4 here you can see only C2 and C5 is having value. So only in C2 and C5 you will write the value rest nan. R2 of dframe2 is having value only in C2. So here in C2 you will write here 30 and rest nan. R5 is having 2 values, rest to nan. Alternatively, if we append dframe1 to dframe2, the rows of dframe2 precede the rows of dframe1. Now here if you are adding dframe, now here see the command has been changed. First dframe2 is written and then append dframe1 is written. So what will be the difference between the two? If dframe1 is written first, In D frame 1, R1, R2, R3 was there. So previously R1, R2, R3 was there. But now here it is written D frame 2 first and then append D frame 1. So D frame 1 will be added at the end. So first R4, R2 is written and then here you can see R5. This is of D frame 2. Now the D frame 1 is added at the end. So D frame 1 will be added at the end of D frame 2. So if you change the position of this, then automatically the output is also changing. Now next is sorting. You have used here a sort command equals to false. False means in descending order. So here you will see that sort in descending order means from greater number. Let us check here what they have done. The parameter verify integrity of append method may be set to true when we want to raise an error. This is a different thing. So here R4, R2, R5 is written, C2, C5 and then C1, C3 is written. So first of D frame 2 it is written and then it is D frame 1. The rest is same. It is same. Only this is of the first one, that is this one is of D frame 2 and this the R1 portion, this one is from D frame R1, R2, R3 is from D frame 1. Now the parameter verify integrity of append method may be set to true when we want to raise an error if the row labels are duplicate. By default, verify integrity equals to false. Here it is verify integrity was false. So you can see here R2 is repeated 2 times. Means R2 is having value of C2 as 30 as well as here also R2 is having the value of C2 as 5. So R2 is having 2 values of C2 because by default the verify integrity is false. When I am not mentioning anything, then here you can see it is false. But if you set it true, then it will show error because it cannot have the same value. That is why we could append the duplicate row with label R2 when appending the 2 data frames as shown above. So here duplicate values will appear. If they ask you why the duplicate value appears, you will write by default verify integrity is equals to false. That's why the duplicate value appears. Now next is the parameter ignore index of append method may be set to true when we do not want to use row index labels. By default, ignore index equals to false. So by default, automatically here R1, R2, R3 because ignore index was false. So automatically of D frame 1 and D frame 2 it has taken the index. But if you write it ignore index equals to true, then it will ignore the index and it will give a new index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what is the advantage of this? Here the index is not having a repeated one, a duplicate one. So while accessing it afterwards for any analysis, you will not find any problem. Previously what was happening? R2 and R2, 2 same were there in row index. Now R2 and R2 was having values of C2, duplicate values of C2. One was 5 and the next was 30. So while doing the analysis work, it will show error. So here if you write ignore index equals to true, then it will ignore the index and give its own index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you will not have duplicate. How can you check whether a given data frame has any missing values or not? So there is a function in which you can check the nan, how many nans are there. Next, the append method can also be used to append a series or a dictionary to a data frame. Till now you are appending a data frame with a data frame. But if you want to add at the end, append at the end, using append method any series with a data frame or any dictionary with a data frame. This also you can do. Data frame dot append, in bracket you write the name of the series. So whichever existing data frame is there, at the end the series will be appearing. If you write data frame dot append in bracket the name of the dictionary, then the dictionary can be appended at the end. Now the next topic, this is very important, so you note it down this, right? From this topic 5 marks, 1 marks question, head, tail, shape. Many questions are asked from this topic, so this is very important. Underline it, attributes of data frames. Like series, we can access certain properties called attributes of a data frame by using that property with the data frame name. So the name of the data frame is compulsory. If I have given the name of the data frame as df, then df dot, then the name of the attribute, whichever attribute you are using, head, tail, shape, whatever you are using, that you will write. Yes, so we can access certain properties called attributes of a data frame by using that property with the data frame name. Now table I will show you, list some attributes of pandas data frame. We are going to use a part of the data from a report called State of Forest Report 2017. So these you can collect from internet, from this forest report, from forest website nic.in. You can collect these datas. So as this is given to you in your NCERT book, I would like that each one of you design this, that all the forest survey of India, and you can collect the data from internet. So State of Forest Report 2017 published by this, accessible at this. So here you can get all the data. They have given here the link as our example data in this section. Now you will mention in your project when you are designing it that from where you have collected the data. They have given here the link that from this forest report they have collected the data. Same way, when you will do your project work, suppose income tax, or you are doing bank, railway, whatever project you are designing, COVID or vaccination. So from government side, from nic.in, from gov.gov, you are collecting all the data. So you will mention this link from where you are collecting the data. This link should be mentioned in your copy, in your project file. You will be asked in Viva also from where you have collected all your data. As per this report, the geographical area, the area under very dense forest, the area under moderately dense forest, and the area under open forest, all in square kilometer in 3 states of India, Assam, Delhi and Kerala, are shown in the following data frame, forest area DF. So name of the data frame is forest area DF, and here you can see it is having 3 data in forest area data frame. 3 states are there. Assam, you are having all the areas, and you can see index. It's not all. First one is geo area, second one is very dense, third one is moderate, and fourth one is open forest. Clear? So first is your area, second one is very dense forest area, then moderately dense forest area, and then the open forest area. Next state is Kerala. So of Kerala, same thing, datas are stored. Third state is Delhi. So of Delhi, all the datas are stored. Now this is your table. When you will print the data frame, create the data frame. So first, using pd.dataframe, you are creating the data frame, and then directly also you can write the name of the data frame to print it. If it is in program, then print data frame name will print this table. Clear? So this is how to print, how to collect, and your project work, how to do it. You will collect the data and then you will do it. Now I am showing you this. This one is important, so you mark it. Some attributes of pandas data frame. Attribute name is data frame name dot index. So df.index or data frame.index to display row labels. So when you are giving the row labels, then to display the row labels, you will give here data frame name was forest area df. This is the name of the data frame dot index, and it will print the index here. So index are here geo area, very dense, moderately dense, and open forest. This is your index. D type here, it is an object, so D type equals to object. Next, data frame columns. Columns will display the columns. To display column labels, so here the column labels are Assam, Kerala and Delhi. So you will only type the data frame name dot columns, only this much. See, no parenthesis, no brackets you have to type here. Only the name of the data frame dot the attribute you are typing here. So columns you have typed here. Now here you will see what are the column names. It is showing you the output. So here the output will be your column index is Assam, Kerala and Delhi. These are the column names. Next is data type. Yes. Any doubt? Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. If you have any doubt, you just prompt. Now next is your data frame dot d type. So in this data types, to display data type of each column in the data frame. Now you can see the Assam, this is integer, then next is also integer. Delhi, you can see it is a float data type. So whatever data type, we don't know what the user has entered or whosoever is the programmer has created it with these data types. So here you can see the datas are in integer in Assam and Kerala, and in Delhi it is in float. Next, data frame dot values. To display a NumPy ND array having all the values in the data frame without the access labels. Now you can see all the values are there. Whichever values the datas are given here, these all are the values without the index. No index. So these datas, these values you will write here. Next, data frame dot shape. How many rows and how many columns? To display a tuple representing the dimensionality of the data frame. So you will write the answer in a tuple, that is in a parenthesis. If this question is written, then you will see in the table there are 4 rows and 3 columns. So you will write the answer this. Clear? Without like this time I will share with you the Google form only. So you will write the answer without any space. Don't put any space, only write, open the bracket 4, 3. If it is having 4 rows and 3 columns, you will write 4, 3 and close the bracket. Clear? And if you are asked this, that write command to display the shape or rows and columns, then you will write the answer this. This will be your answer. Write the syntax to display the total number of rows and columns of a data frame. If this is your question, the answer will be data frame dot shape. Clear? Now next is how many datas are there with size. So data frame dot size to display the tuple representing the dimensionality of the data frame. So here you can see size will represent how many values are there. So if there are 4, 3, the 12 datas in a table, then you will write here 12. Suppose if I ask you that in your class there are 32 students and 2 column labels are there, that is your roll number and name. What will data frame dot or student, suppose the name of the data frame is student. So student dot size will return what? Anybody? 32 students, column labels are roll number and name. Student dot size will return 32 into 2 is 64. So answer will be your 64 elements. All the 32 students are having 32 roll numbers and 32 names. So total number of elements are 32 into 2 or 32 plus 32. So 64. So how many elements will be there in size? 64. And if you are asked this question of that same student dot shape, then what you will write? Open your mic and give the answers.
32,2.
In round bracket, in parenthesis 32,2. Very good. Clear? So, in round bracket you will write 32,2. These things you note down in your copy, because all 1 marks questions will be this type of questions only. And whatever questions we are discussing in the class, obviously all those questions will be asked in your monthly test as well as in your pre-board. Yeah, so these you note down in your copy, that if total number of rows are 32, records are 32 and 2 columns are there. So rows will be 32, columns will be 2. In round bracket you will write 32,2 if this shape output is asked then. Next is your transpose. Transpose means to convert rows into columns and columns into rows. You can see data frame name dot t if you write, then till now your Assam, Kerala and Delhi was your column labels, but now using this transpose attribute you have converted into row index, and the row index was your geo area, very dense, moderately dense, open forest, and it has been now the column index. Just it will do the, that is the row will be becoming columns and column will become rows. To transpose the data frame means row indices and column labels of the data frame replace each other's position. So your column will become rows and rows will become columns. So only with one command only you can do it. If you are asked that write a command or write the process to convert your row labels to column, row indices to column labels and column labels to row indices, you will simply write this answer, dataframe.t. If your data frame name is student and you are asked to convert it, you will write student.t. Clear? So this monthly test paper is having all the questions from this. 1 marks questions are there. So this you do it nicely. Practice it nicely. Both the ways question paper is set, that is you will be given the table and the command and you will be asked to write this output. The second method is you will be asked to write the command and you have to write this command. Yes, so both the ways it is asked. Yes, now the next one is head and tail. This you have already learned in series. This is very important. To display the first n rows in the data frame, if you mention n. If you don't mention n, then what happens? Anybody?
It will print the first 5 values.
Very good. Clear? It will print the first 5 values. So here you can see by default it returns the first 5 rows of the data frame. Tail is the last. N means the number of records. If only last record you will be asked, your n will become 1. So data frame dot tail in bracket you will write 1. If last 2 records they have asked you, then 2. If you don't write n, then here also last 5 records will be printed. Clear? Next is how many nan values are there, empty values are there. To return the value true if data frame is empty and false otherwise. So if your data frame is empty, then it will return true, but in this case it was not empty, it was having the values, so it is returning here false. Clear? So this is your complete attribute portion. This is very important. So we will just do one by one. We will practice it. Now next topic will start with importing and exporting data. So this already we have done before summer vacation, because during summer vacation you were to do the projects. So to CSV and read CSV. So again I will revise this also. So let us start with the practical part. Yes, now in practical part First question, you know what is data frame will be asked. So today we are doing attributes of data frame. Yes, now how to create a data frame? Tell me the commands fast. Tell me the commands, how to create a data frame. Now suppose which domain you want to take now. The domain can be your cybersecurity, AI devices, IoT, NLP, forest, food. Suppose food you are taking now. So I am taking the food industry. Like this only you have to create your project also. So you can ask the user to enter all the datas, or you can enter the datas here also. Now in food industry, what all datas will be there? Any idea? You can search in GoogleNet food.csv file. You can search anywhere. Suppose I am searching here food.csv file. Now from any government site you can collect the datas also, data set. Yes, now here we are collecting the food data. So now these CSV files you can download it and you can use it. So foundation foods, branded foods, then of all the datas. So let us start with one by one. Suppose the foundation food I want to download. So I have downloaded here all the foundation food. You can open it and you can see the datas here. So foundation food I am just opening, or the food nutrients also. In this only food nutrients, if I am opening, yes. Now food nutrients, you can see here all the ID. The name of the food is not given, that you have to collect from somewhere else. So which food is having how much nutrient amount is written here. So you can collect the data like this from anywhere, from CSV files. And I wanted the name of the food along with their all downloaded table record count downloads. I wanted the name of all the foods. Let me see whether the name I can get. Name of the food. No, here it is not available. Alright, we know the name of the food, so we will nutrient content, maybe I don't know the nutrient contents. So I can collect the nutrient contents from any Google. Best nutritional food. Alright, the nuts and the cereals and the fruits and vegetables. So we will do with that only what knowledge we are having. With that I am showing you. Afterwards I will show you the best CSV files and how to do it. So here all the different nuts, vegetables. So all the vegetables I am writing here. So the vegetables will be your next. Only two datas now I am just showing you because your class will be over otherwise. So here you are having cabbage, brinjal, radish, carrot. Now the next one is your fruits. So I am giving the fruits here in single quote, fruits, and then it is a key. Values will be your apple and banana. Yes, so this is over. Now we are creating the data frame. So how to create the data frame? It is your food data frame equals to pd dot data frame, and in this you are putting the dictionary. So it is created. Now if you want to see, you can see here print food. The name of the data frame is food. Yes, over. Now we will start with all the attributes. So one by one all the attributes I want to print. So I am just copying it from here. So all the attributes whichever you have learned till now, I want to show you all. So first one was food dot index. Second one was food dot columns. In your project also you will try to use all, shape, then size, then transpose, then head. If you don't give anything, 5 will be printed. Then you are having tail. In this one I am giving, so last one will be printed. And then empty. If it is empty, then it will display. Like this case it is not empty, so it will display false. Now I am executing it, so it is executed. Now I haven't given any index, so 0 and 1 was my index. So you can see here the veggies are your cabbage and carrot, and fruits are your apple and banana. Next is index. I was asking the index, so it has given the 2 index. Here the index was not, row index was not given, only the column index was given. So column it has given. Now the shape was 2 rows and 2 columns. So 2, 2. This is your shape. This outputs, you better you write what output it is showing and then you write it. Like this first one is your food dot index. The second one is your, this is your columns. This is your shape. This is your size. This is your transpose, where you can see the row is converted into column and column into rows. Then you are having the first 5. Now still now you have entered only 2. So first 5 it has displayed only 2 values. Then the tail has displayed only 1 value. You can see here only the last value is being displayed, and empty is false. It is displaying false. Now when you are showing the outputs, you can see just now I was having the confusion. So here you can print for user friendly in your project. You can print the data frame is, the complete data frame is, the data frame is. So when it will show the output, the index is like this, the columns are, the shape is, the size is, the transpose of the data frame food is, the head means 5 rows, 5 top from first, 5 records are. Like this you can write here the print statement in your project, so that it just, there is no confusion. Like just now what I am doing, I am simply copying what output it is showing, and in double quotes I am writing it. So this. So when it will show the output, it will show in this format only, like this one. I'm just copying after each one, and then with print statement you are making it user friendly. So here user friendly, and then what I will do, the commands I will simply overwrite on it. Last one was empty. So now what I am doing, only this you have to change. So this you replace it, this is of this, then tail, this is of tail, this is of head. So I am just displaying the message and then I am showing the output. You can see the message, it is in double quotes. So it is of food.t, so here capital T, then this is of size, this is of shape, this is of columns. So here you will remove this as columns, and this is index. So now when you are running this program, you will see now you can see the heading. The data frame is, now you can see the heading. Food index is this. Food.column is all the columns. Food.shape output is this. Food.size output is this. Food.transpose is this. Food.head. Now here you can mention it that only 2 records were there. So only 2 it has displayed. Otherwise 5 it should display. Then food.empty is false. Understood? All the attributes. So time is over. So these are all the attributes. NCERT book we have completed till attributes. Now the last topic is the to CSV and read CSV, which we have already done. But again I will just go through these. You just I'm sharing with you this book. NCERT book I am sharing with you. You just go through this to CSV and read CSV. Only 2 commands you have to remember. Yes, this syntax you have to remember. Now here you can see the path you have given where the file is. Then the separator, by default it is a comma separated value. So by default it is comma. But if you want to mention any separator, you will write there the separator. Header is false, index is false. So in this case no header and no index is there, it is false. Clear? So this let us do in our next class only. Now Panda series and NumPy ND array. So this difference you just go through and then the summary. So you go through the book I am sharing with you and solve the unsolved questions. So these all solved questions and unsolved questions, you solve it. If you have any doubt, you just mention your doubts. So these all are your questions. Case study will come in your exam. So create a dictionary, display the last 2 rows. So next class I will ask you all these questions here. These question answers I will ask you. You have to switch on your camera and you have to give the answers. So you practice all these questions. If you have any doubt, you just tell me. I will clear your doubts.